Niccolò Paganini was an Italian violinist and composer who lived during the early 19th century. He is considered one of the greatest violinists of all time, renowned for his technical virtuosity and innovative techniques. His music has had a profound impact on the development of violin technique and repertoire, and his legacy continues to inspire musicians today. Born in Genoa, Italy in 1782, Paganini began playing the violin at a young age. His father recognized his talent and encouraged him to pursue a career in music. Paganini was a prodigious child, and by the age of 12, he had already begun performing in public. He received further training in Parma, where he studied with the renowned violinist Alessandro Rolla. Paganini's talent soon attracted the attention of audiences and musicians alike. His performances were characterized by an extraordinary technical ability that allowed him to execute complex and difficult passages with ease. He was also known for his innovative use of harmonics, double stops, and left-hand pizzicato, techniques that had never before been used in violin playing. Paganini's music was also notable for its dramatic flair and virtuosic display. His compositions often featured fast runs, difficult passages, and elaborate cadenzas that showcased his technical abilities. His most famous composition, the Caprice No. 24, is a virtuosic tour de force that has become a staple of the violin repertoire. Niccolò Paganini's career was marked by several challenges and controversies. One of the main challenges he faced was his poor health. Throughout his life, Paganini suffered from various illnesses, including tuberculosis, which often left him bedridden for months at a time. Despite this, he continued to perform and compose, and his ill health only served to increase his reputation as a tormented genius. Another challenge Paganini faced was his reputation as a difficult and temperamental performer. He was known for his perfectionism and demanded the highest standards from himself and his colleagues. This sometimes led to conflicts with other musicians and concert promoters, and he was even known to cancel concerts at the last minute if he felt the conditions were not suitable. One of the most enduring controversies surrounding Paganini was the rumor that he had made a deal with the devil in exchange for his musical abilities. This rumor was fueled by his unconventional appearance and his extraordinary technical abilities, which were seen as supernatural by some. While there is no evidence to support this claim, it helped to build his mystique as a musician and contributed to his fame. In his later years, Paganini became increasingly reclusive. He withdrew from public life and devoted himself to composing and practicing. He died in Nice, France in 1840 at the age of 57. Paganini was known for his extravagant lifestyle, which included a fondness for gambling, women, and expensive clothes. This led to financial difficulties and legal troubles, and he was often forced to borrow money or sell his instruments to make ends meet. Paganini had a reputation as a womanizer, and he had numerous relationships throughout his life. He was rumored to have had affairs with some of the most famous singers and actresses of his time, including the soprano Henriette Sontag and the actress Antonia Bianchi. He also had a long-term relationship with a woman named Antonia Bianchi, with whom he had a son named Achilles. Despite his reputation as a ladies' man, Paganini never married. He was deeply devoted to his art, and he often spoke of his violin as his true love. He was known to practice for hours on end, often neglecting his health and other responsibilities. Another aspect of Niccolò Paganini's private life that is worth noting is his relationship with his father. Paganini's father, Antonio, was a failed musician who saw in his son a chance to achieve the success that had eluded him. He pushed Niccolò relentlessly from a young age, forcing him to practice for hours on end and subjecting him to physical and emotional abuse. Despite the difficult relationship with his father, Paganini remained devoted to his art and continued to practice and perform throughout his life. He also maintained a close relationship with his younger half-brother, Achille, whom he helped to raise and supported financially throughout his life. In addition to his musical talents, Paganini was also an accomplished swordsman and a skilled horseman. He was known to ride horses at a breakneck pace, sometimes performing stunts and tricks while in the saddle. Paganini's instruments are also worth mentioning when discussing his private life. He was known to have a deep attachment to his violins, and he owned several of the most famous instruments in history. He often referred to his violins as his mistresses, and he would sometimes sleep with them to ensure their safety. Paganini's legacy can be seen in the work of later violinists such as Jascha Heifetz, Itzhak Perlman, and Joshua Bell, all of whom have cited him as a major influence. His techniques and compositions continue to be studied and performed by musicians around the world. In conclusion, Niccolò Paganini was a pioneering musician whose technical virtuosity and innovative techniques have had a lasting impact on the development of violin playing. His music continues to inspire and challenge musicians today, and his legacy as one of the greatest violinists of all time is secure.